Hey, Serge.
Yes?
I have some work for you.
Ah, shit. Here we go again. Hi and welcome to Ajax How-To series, where we put security features in action and show how they solve real-world challenges on site. I'm Serge, pre-sales engineer at Ajax, and today we'll be talking about the operating modes for Ajax cameras. Ajax video devices are a very versatile solution. You can get a single doorbell, install it at your customer's front door, and they get the instant notifications to their phone right away. They have the access to the live stream and archive from the Ajax app and the two-way voice as well through the doorbell. Or it could also be a full-blown solution where you have the video devices, you have intrusion, fire, automation devices, and that all brings additional value to your intrusion or a fire system. For example, you could automatically create the video scenarios and that would send the confirmation to the central station about the door being opened or a motion trip. How cool is that? Let's have a look at the portfolio of Ajax cameras. By the way, they're all AI powered. So let's start with our basic cameras. They cover the standard use cases and will fit in the majority of the scenarios where you don't need any specific features. For example, your summer house or a garage, or anything else you can think of. The next series of cameras that Ajax presented to the market were HL cameras, which stand for hybrid light. Except for the IR lighting that you have in the basic cameras, it also has the white LED in it. And that gives you three things. First, this is a deterrence feature. When somebody is approaching your camera in the absolute darkness, a beam of white light might also bring some bright thoughts into the intruder's heads. Second, that will also give the additional details on the footage, because with the IR lighting, it's black and white. With the white LED, you can also get some colors of the clothing, colors of the car. So this is more details for potential investigation. And lastly, how I use it myself, I have it installed in my underground parking. So it serves as an additional source of light when I'm coming home late after this video shooting. After the HL cameras, we also presented the HLVF cameras that stand for hybrid light, very focal. So it has all the features of the hybrid light, but it also has a configurable focal distance that makes it flexible solution for the dynamic environments where you need to change the focus maybe every day. All the cameras have the inbuilt microphones. You can also connect a third-party devices like a siren or a strobe to it. Also, the HLVF cameras are equipped with the terminals for connecting alarm inputs and outputs, and also audio inputs and outputs, and then trigger them based on your own scenarios. On top of our Ajax wired cameras, we have Ajax Superior HLVF. What's so special about it is that first, it has the motorized PIRIS lens. That'll give you a perfect image even in the harsh lighting conditions. Second, it also is equipped with more powerful hardware for better AI detection. And lastly, we thought about our installers, and since we heard a lot of feedback from the market regarding the pigtails, and also it comes with the junction box, which is also a speaker. So you don't need to have or to search for a third-party speaker to connect to your camera. It has a two-way voice out of the box. By the way, let us know in the comments below, what are your favorite features in Ajax cameras and maybe which features we are currently liking. We very much appreciate your feedback. Besides from our wired cameras, we also have our Wi-Fi video devices. And the first one would be the indoor cam. This is an indoor camera that you can tell from the name, right? It is designed for super easy install. You can mount it on a table, on the wall, or in the ceiling. It's super flexible, and it just needs the power supply. You just plug it in and connect it to your Wi-Fi, and it works. Also, indoor cam is equipped with a PIR sensor for more accurate detection. But you know what's the most interesting is that Ajax might be the only manufacturer who supplies their Wi-Fi video devices with the fallback communication channel. Well, obviously you'll need a hub for that, but still there are two major things that the fallback channel gives you. Even if your camera disconnects from Wi-Fi for whatever reason, it still remains partly operational. Still gives you the still images through the wings, and you can still reset the Wi-Fi password or change the network remotely, so there's no need to go on the field visit. And another Wi-Fi video device, it's kinda twin brother from another mother. It's a doorbell, so it's quite similar to our indoor cam. It has the same features, so PIR, fallback communication, quite the same camera, but doorbell also is equipped with the backup battery and it is outdoor rated. Plus, it's provided in more color options to fit your exterior better. Also, doorbell provides an additional interface for user interactions, so you can use the native Ajax app to watch the live stream or talk to a person in front of your doorbell, but it also could give you a real phone call that you can easily accept and make any actions further from that point.
Perfect news, guys! I have the easiest way for you to get this bet for free. Subscribe to the channel, leave your comment, and I'll pick the one I like the most.
But let's get back to the topic of our video, the operating modes. To understand them better, we also need to have a look at the camera settings in general. First, we'll need to configure the detection itself, the area of the detection, what kind of detection we want to have, and the second that comes out of it is the notifications or the actions. Who do we want to notify, when do we want to notify, and maybe which actions we want to run based on that detection. And lastly, the operating modes themselves. So based on where the camera is installed and what are the conditions, same as intrusion devices, it can be an instant alarm, it can be follower, it also can execute delays. By the way, we have prepared a couple of interesting locations for you today, and the first one is gonna be dedicated exactly for the independent alarm. Hey cameraman, let's get out of studio!
Hey, what's happening here? Damn, it's hot like a stolen shotgun in July. This guy's not supposed to be here. Let's go check out. Hey man, you know I can't park in here. Have you recognized the location already? That's the one from our previous video, and as I said, it's gonna be super dynamic. So right now we got a different challenge. As you can see, since the last time we have a pedestrian zone here, and what we need is to track the access for the vehicles. We only want the service ones to be able to enter this zone. And this is a perfect application for the independent alarm on our camera, which is installed right there. The notifications from this camera will go to all the guards on the location, making sure that the unauthorized vehicles don't appear in the pedestrian zone. Let me also show you how that works on the app, so how this use case is configured. And it's pretty simple, so we actually just need to care about three things. The first one is detection itself. So for this application, we don't need human or pets, so we can disable those models entirely. And we also need to adjust the activity zone a little bit, because here the camera will also cover a part of the upper parking. And we don't necessarily need it. So in this case, we need to remove this portion out of the detection zone. The second is the notifications. So we want to make sure that the notifications about the vehicle detections are sent to the guards 24/7. So we set it to not only when camera is armed, but to always. And lastly, the alarm response. So we need to set the camera to the independent alarm to make sure it doesn't trip any other devices in the system. That's it. Hey, buddy, what are you doing here? Let's move on to the other location, guys. I know what this is about. Now we are at the warehouse with a lot of expensive equipment. And these two cute babies are also guards. They work together with our superior camera, making sure that all the stuff stays here where it's supposed to be. So why are we using instant alarm here? It's because we have also a bunch of other devices installed, including the sensors and also sirens. So in this case, we need the camera to push the events to trigger the sirens as well. Let me take you real quick in the app through the settings. Essentially, there are a couple of things. First is the operating mode itself. Let's set it to the instant alarm. And then next goes the detection again. So here in this case, I don't have any vehicles, so I can disable this. And I can also keep the paths because I will not enable any notifications from them, but I still wanna see those beauties on the archive. And now the notifications, that's the last part. We just need it for the humans. And here, the instant alarm would also allow us to activate the sirens upon the detection. We could also use the alarm output on the siren if we have any strobe or anything else, because this is a superior camera that allows you to do it. And also this camera is equipped with the speaker. I can do the same thing I do on the doorbell. Just click on the talk down and talk to myself. That's myself. Wow, the time runs so fast. I really need to run. All right, guys, looks like we are done on this location. Now I'm headed to the rental summer house where I'm hopefully gonna have some rest. Wait, what are you doing here? I guess we're talking about the entry and exit delays on the cameras, eh? Well, this is a perfect location for it. And now you'll see that not only intrusion devices can execute delays, but also our video cameras. Let's start from the beginning. This is the main entry to the property. And as you can hear, there is already delay started. It's coming from our street siren and also the keypad. I was detected by the camera out there on the corner. So let's make sure we disarm the system before we set off the alarm. Okay, that's done. Now, it actually opened the door for me. How nice is that? It's an automation scenario by the disarming. I can go in right inside. This is a rental property, so we need to make sure that the visitor's access is easy as possible. So here, what we need to do is we'll be using the keypad access codes. These are the codes that not necessarily connected to the registered users in the app. We can assign it to anybody. So here we can set up to 150 codes for our guests, but essentially we'll need just one and we'll be just rotating them as the guests come by. In this case, we have just one camera, which is installed at the front on the facade, and it is controlling the access to the property. We also have here a keypad outdoor installed on the facade of the building. So it is being used in this case to disarm the system and to make sure that somebody is able to access this facility without tripping the alarm. That's why we need the entry and exit delay here. So our keypad is set up to control the entire system. We can also enable the sound indication to make sure that it gives the beeps on the delay. And finally, the camera. So the camera is set to the entry-exit mode. That's configured in the alarm response. So here we can say that the entry delay is going to be 100 seconds and the exit delay could be even longer, could be 120. So as the guests might be visiting the location for the first time, it might take some time for them to figure out where is the keypad, where to enter the code. So we can give even a longer delay up to 255 seconds here. And finally, a couple of the rest of the settings for the cameras. For the detection, we have everything loud because there will be pets and humans and vehicles passing by. We only have the inside area covered. And the notifications are only set for humans because that is the major thing we care about. We can set it to be an alarm and even also activate the sirens upon the detection. All right, that's gonna be quite it here. I'm gonna go back to rest and you can go home, Mr. Cameraman. No, I guess I'm going with ya. Now we're at the jewelry boutique. You can see a lot of beautiful things here, including Ajax. This is a very high value object, so we need to make sure we provided the top level security. And for that, we have an intrusion system here
we have automation here, we also have the camera system. This place has a couple of entry points, including windows, so in this case we'll be using the follower mode in our cameras. Now let's switch to the configuration part because it's pretty sophisticated, as we also have the central station monitoring application here. So this system is pretty sophisticated. I don't really want to walk through the settings of every device, but we'll go through the essential stuff to highlight and demonstrate how the cameras are being configured. So our outdoor cameras, they are set to 24/7 recording, and we don't have any notifications enabled on them because we don't need to have the notifications about the people passing by, but we still want to have the access to the archive and to work conveniently with it. The inside cameras are all configured as the followers, so they will essentially inherit the delays from the door protect and follow the 10-second delay we have configured on the door protect. So first thing we need to do is to set our entry camera, so that's the camera that's pointed to our front door. We need to set it to the follower mode. And obviously adjust the detection. So here we'll be using all algorithms, humans, pets, and vehicles. If the vehicle's trying to drive through your front door at the jewelry store, that's not a good sign at all. So I'll keep this on. And finally the notifications. So the notifications will have for humans and vehicles. We'll set those to be alarms, and we'll also activate the siren upon the detection. One of the interesting things on this system, again, it's pretty big, but a few things I want to highlight is that we also have a fog machine installed at this store. If you're looking for more info, check the description below. And finally, our cameras will also be sending the notifications to the central station as the rest of the intrusion part. So to make sure it is done properly, we need to enable a couple of settings at the bottom of the camera settings. So here we need to make sure we assign the proper zone number. Usually we can start with 201, and we just need to make sure that we have this toggle on to send the notifications to the CMS. And that's it. The notification settings that you've configured will go to both places, to the user and to the central station as well. So now the theoretical part is done, let's move on to practice. Obviously, the daily operations for this stuff must be easy and convenient. So the manager comes to the boutique, they open the door, they put the keypad code in, disarm the system, and start their daily work. So maybe somebody's gonna buy a ring here and make a proposal, we don't know. So that is a good case scenario. Now let's talk about the bad one. If any device except the front door sensor detects an intruder, that's gonna be an instant alarm with no delays. Alright, it's too many words already. Mr. Operator, give me the bat and arm the system. Well, now you know how operating modes work. Thank you for watching till the end. Don't forget to subscribe and leave your comments below. And a couple of thoughts for you. Always test your systems. That's the only best way to figure out how it really works, and that's the way to find the best value for your customer. And also check if your central is already providing the video alarm verification. It is a great opportunity. Thank you for watching Ajax Pro. Stay tuned for updates, subscribe, comment, and see you next time, guys.